Everyone who thirsts, come to the waters. Come and eat. Listen diligently to me and eat what is good.
Question correctly, but I believe that all the religions, all the unbiblical religions of the world are a perversion of the original truth. And I believe that, again, Satan is a counterfeit. He's counterfeited everything. And I don't believe that he came up with any new ideas. He just counterfeited the old ideas. If you study the religions of the world, look, Allah is a perversion of the God of the Bible and a few other, the Arabic moon god and so on and so on. Some of the, I don't know, I haven't studied Hinduism too much, but look, they've got their counterfeits. I think that, and Buddha never claimed to be a god, but I see even in some of the American Indian native religions, there's this concept of the Great Spirit and so forth. It goes back to a perversion. Certainly
there's elements of truth in there. That's why it makes it attractive.
Even in the Egyptian religions and in the Babylonian, that Nimrod proffered, the idea of Semiramis and Nimrod and Tammuz. I mean, it's a perversion of the Godhead. I think we see that in the Japanese religion, Taoism. Again, there's a lot of elements of truth in there, but it's a perversion. In Buddhism, you have the Eightfold Path. There's some good things in there about how to treat your neighbor, but again, there's just enough stuff to help people, but not to get them saved. So I think that if when we, and again, I'm not sure if this is your question, but when we are witnessing to people all these other religions, I think we would be wise. You want to fish. When you're fishing, you want to use bait that the fish are going to bite on. So if you come to understand a little bit about their religions, so that you can find a commonality, maybe they have some beliefs that are biblical or shades of biblical truth or things that have been perverted, and build a bridge of understanding and then bring them back. Paul said he's all things to all people. Remember when he went up to Areopagus, the Mars Hill, and you have all these gods, and now here's this one, the unknown God, and he reached out to them in a way they can understand and bridge the gap and use that as a launch pad.
I'm going to teach you the unknown one.
Exactly.
One that you don't know yet.
I think we're wise to do that. I'm not sure if this is what you were asking.
That's what I'm asking.
Did I hear that correct?
It's not this week, but a couple of weeks ago. Joshua 24, verse...
Joshua 24?
Yeah, 16, 18. And it said father of the Hebrew nation, Abraham, who used to worship the false god. So
His father Terah, yeah, on the other side, yeah.
Terah, right. So, and God, the Elohim brought him to believing or away from the false god.
Yeah.
And so therefore, there's some time and period that Abraham was convinced to be away from them. So that process could be, if we study and understand how it happened, how we can do to minister those people grew up under different religion, to bring to the Bible, that is something I'd like to pursue. Very interesting.
Oh, I think you're doing that.
Yeah.
With the Japanese religion, and they have a lot of questions, and if you can lead people through that. Here's the rest of the story.
Yeah, and it is good for what I'm doing. But many other people who has friend with a non-Christian background, if you can relate to how your belief was condemned in the Bible. Those people.
Well, and there are some trails through history of some of these things from Babylonian religion that disseminated out, especially to the images that Daniel saw. Babylon's gods became the Persian gods under different names sometimes, but which became Greek's gods, which became Rome's gods. So they changed the name, but a lot of them were the same people. Same thing with the Egyptian gods. Most cultures had a sun god because that's the most powerful, biggest thing they could see up in the sky, and so they're going to worship that because it's big and powerful. But so a lot of this, some of it does go back to Bible times and back to Nimrod, and there's a lot of books out there that write about the Babylonian religion and how it kind of got into other religions. I'm not as familiar with Eastern religions as I am with some of the ones that are in that disseminated down through all those other cultures in Rome and everything and Europe. But I'm sure there were a pattern because we all came from the same peoples, and some of that disseminated down through history. And that's something you could probably research down. Sadly, you may have to dig into the deep muck and yuck of the Babylonian religion stuff, but people have written books like this that trace down through history that this character, like Nimrod, became God was through Tammuz and everything, which is what they did within biblical accounts. But I don't know.
I think we're going to catch more flies with honey than vinegar. When you're a teacher, and he was a retired teacher, but you got to build bridges of understanding to help bring people from the level they're at to the next level. And let me give a case in point here. I really believe, I just got done looking at a bunch of ministries on the internet that I was on YouTube this morning and last night a little bit, and looking at websites of messianic ministries and watching some videos and seeing what they were teaching. I don't do that very often, I just was curious. And I find a lot of Christian bashing going on. And I find a lot of people, there was one ministry that I read, I don't remember exactly the name of it, but basically it said you got to unlearn everything you've ever learned.
Oh boy.
That's
You can't.
Every video they did was unlearn everything you've ever learned. Excuse me?
Yeah. That's what brought you to salvation.
And he's talking to Christians.
Yeah.
Coming to the message. That's a lie. You don't have to unlearn everything. You just unlearn the things that aren't biblical. It's this kind of immaturity and toxic teachers where they are turning people against the very people they're trying to reach out to. We have got to reach out.
That's true.
In love. And we've got to embrace the things and champion the things that are accurate and true. And that's why I have, and then lovingly say, no, the Christmas tree is pagan. We don't need that in here. And it's not a salvation issue, and don't make it a salvation issue. A lot of people make the Christmas tree a salvation issue.
Yes,
I don't have a Christmas tree. I don't want it. They are pretty, but I don't want one in my house. But it is not a salvation issue. And people make more to do about the Christmas tree than they do about gossip.
The heart,
pride.
Those are higher authority issues, yeah.
Abortion.
Yeah. The murder.
Fornication.
Yeah.
I mean, there is more, we could go on, and the Bible makes a lot more to do about those things.
The weightier matters.
The weightier matters. Absolutely. So I think we need to reach out to people and build bridges of understanding. That's why I've been putting on all of our videos lately for our YouTube channel, which it really explains what our ministry is about. Connecting the message of the gospel with its Hebrew Pro-Torah roots. That's all we do. Just preach the gospel like the apostles did and just connect it to its Hebrew roots. I'm not interested in bashing anybody. I will come against doctrines of men by which the word of God has been made of none effect. But how am I going to win my brother if I am lifting myself up by putting other people down?
Yep, that's right.
And I have been guilty of this. I've tried not to do that because I come out of a church denomination where that's what we did. We did that big time. We were Pharisees of the Pharisees. We were terrible. Well, they don't keep the Sabbath and they don't eat the way I do, and they have a Christmas tree and they sing happy birthday and and we majored in all the minors. and we divided, and I offended a lot of people in my younger days by taking the Torah and the Bible and hitting them over the head with the people I was trying to win and open up their understanding. And this doesn't work. If you're going to hit anybody over the head, go hit the leaders over the head. They're the ones that need to be. And that's what Yeshua did. Because they're the ones that should know better.
I like to say, Yahweh, teach me or lead me to the truth, but keep me away from those who already found it.
Yeah.
Like the know-it-alls, you know,
Yeah,
they have
right.
an answer for everything. And
That's why I can hardly be around people that came out of the church that I was born and raised in. I can hardly be around them because I used to be like that, and I've had to learn the hard way. You know, and that's not the way that's pleasing to Elohim. You know, you can have all the knowledge in the world, but if you don't have love, it's nothing. It's nothing. And I just don't like being around people that are know-it-alls, argumentative, and it's my way or the highway, and they come in and they're going to teach you everything, and they have nothing that they can learn, and they're going to, I mean, we've all been around, and I'm not going to name churches, but there's whole denominations that are like that, and it's like, I just want to flee, because it's too much like I was raised in, and too much like I've had to repent of.
Seek the Lord while he may be found. Call upon his name. He is near, he is near, he is near. Yeshua Hashem Behir Matzov Kerahu Yoto Karov Yasov Rasha Darko Leishaven Machshevotav Yashovel Ad Hashem Ki Arbe Is Yeshua Hashem Behim Matzov Kerahu Seek the Lord while he may be found. Call upon his name. He is near, he is near. Yeshua Hashem Behim Matzor Kerahu